Welcome to New York Giants Full Access. What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of New York Giants Full Access with your boy BigPatssportsTalk. Like to thank you guys for tuning in. First episode in a little while. We're going to get back to action, giving you your New York Giants Full Access right here on BigPatssportsTalk. And today, we're going to be talking about one of our old foes, Mr. Nick Wright, who is proclaiming that the Giants are not a threat in the playoff picture. As we all know, this past weekend, the New York Giants got into the playoffs for the first time in 6 years, since 2016, and it's a great feeling. And me, on one hand, I'm saying the Giants are definitely a threat, especially if we get past the first round, because we're an unknown commodity, and I believe we're a dangerous team, especially when we get healthy. So let's hear what Nick Wright and a couple of other guys from the First Things First cast on ESPN. Let's hear what they got to say, and then I'm gonna tune in. So let's get it.
The responsibility's significant.
Very good. We welcome you back. Afternoon headlines brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus. Amazing fast, cold, and flu relief. Giants in the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Daniel Jones, 2 touchdowns through the air, 2 on the ground. May have played himself into a contract. Coach, we're going to start with you.
Yes, he has played himself into a contract with the New York Giants. A lot of fans are not liking that, but tough. Daniel Jones has proven that he's a Giants franchise quarterback, and there's no question about that. So tough if you don't like it.
You were big on the Giants and your guy Brian Daboll for a long time, and now we are reaching the promise of the premise. Do you believe that the Giants can be scary as we head into the playoffs?
Yeah, I believe it for a couple of reasons. One, they pressure more than anybody defensively. So
Thank you, Coach.
you can create plays that way. They do a great job by not missing very many tackles. So you can potentially generate some plays there. The guys do a good job of holding up defensively on the back end. They're +2 in giveaway takeaway ratio. That's encouraging, and they're one of the top teams running the ball. And Brian's done stuff with his team throughout the course of the year that nobody would have expected. And even down the stretch, there were times where I was looking at who they're playing, thinking this is going to be a tall task. But they figured it out. And when you get a team like that in the playoffs,
Coach and analysis, either guarantee a win or you don't.
All right, they try to flip it on Coach. It's pretty good. Good hosting by that guy there. But what did I tell you guys going into the playoffs? That teams that run the ball effectively and play very good defense are teams that other teams do not want to play in the playoffs. And what do? We play very good defense, and we're one of the top rushing teams in the league with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. They're both huge threats to run the ball. Teams do not want to face that in the playoffs. Now, you add the fact that Daniel Jones is getting into a groove. Richie James is getting into a groove. Hodges is getting into a groove. Bellinger is working his way back in. The offensive line is getting back into their groove. Evan Neal coming off one of his better games. Bredesen coming off one of his better games. Let's get Gates at center, and let's see what we can do. But I absolutely believe we're a threat. But let's continue on.
That alert thing. Yeah, he's going to put alert on like on upset alert.
how do I do that? How do I finesse that?
I guarantee you will.
They do well.
Yeah. So, listen, they're locked into the 6th seed, and it looks like Minnesota is going to be the 3 in all likelihood. And we saw.
Yes, Minnesota is likely going to be the 3. Man, does this dude Nick Wright have an identity crisis or something? Like, he continues, I don't know.
Saw them play that game, and they lost, but they lost on a 61-yard field goal at the end. So here's the deal. So could they beat Minnesota? Maybe. Do I think they're a scary playoff team? Absolutely not. Do I think Daboll?
You see what I'm saying? You see how They try to give us a little credit, but then they really drive home what they really want to say about us every time. That's how they do us, man. That's how they do us. This little Nick Wright, like I said, Uncle Toucan been talking noise about us all season. And now that he gives us a little bit of respect, he still has to hammer down the disrespect. And that's what a lot of these fans on the Twitter space and everything are doing, but we're going to surprise you guys.
Deserves a ton of credit, 1,000%. Well, they banked these early wins, which allowed, when the, Saquon regressed a bit and the wide receiver injuries caught up to them, they were able to, they started 6-1, and they have 3 wins since mid-October, and they're against Houston, Washington, and Indy. But it's enough to get in the playoffs. Sure. And to be locked into the playoffs with a week to go.
They're playing like their 8th string offensive line, but they're pulling people off the...
Right. But, hey, continue on. Thank you, Coach.
The wide receiving core and the offensive line is decimated, and they're still 9-6-1. So I think they deserve a ton of credit. And because Minnesota is so fraudulent, I actually do give them a shot in that game. But do I look at them that they could go on a run like we've seen Giants teams go on when they get in the playoffs? Absolutely not. But I still think Dable might be Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
You see how they use chicanery against you guys? Oh, I absolutely don't think that these guys can make a run. There's no way possible. They're not that good of a team. Oh, they've only won 3 games since starting 6-1, but Brian Daboll's a good coach. That's how they try to keep the chicanery going and keep themselves in the media looking like good guys while they still trash your team. I don't fall for all that, man. I really don't. You're still that guy that trashes the New York Giants, and you're still having to eat your words. You eat you a couple of little Fruit Loops, and enjoy the ride with the New York Giants. Oh, I'll give you a chance to beat the Vikings, but do I see them making a run? No. Nah. We beat the Vikings. We could beat anybody in that NFC because the Vikings have played everybody in the NFC hard, and we have played everybody in the NFC hard. This NFC is wide open, and I think we could beat any one of these guys. But I just wanted you guys to hear a little bit of a take from these guys from the First Thing First crew. They do little underhand things and try to say one good thing while saying 5 bad things about the New York Giants. I just want you guys to see that they still disrespect us, and we still going to have to go into the playoffs and do our thing. New York Giants going to go into the playoffs. I think we win wild card weekend against the Minnesota Vikings, and then who knows what else can happen after that. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. On our way to 50 memberships, you know the goal. Let's get to that 50 membership goal, and let's start seeing some What Are You Doings and everything, members only streams. I'd like to thank you. Hey, if you want your Big Pat Sports Talk merch, click the link in the description. It's right underneath the read more and everything. And get yourself a hoodie, get yourself a hat, or whatever you choose to do. Thank you guys for always supporting the channel. And until the next episode, peace. This is a Big Blue Crew production.